Alright, so we're back here on our dolphin-shaped island, and now we need to do the small detail stuff like, I don't know, making the island look a little bit better, adding in some resources, putting the trees in, putting the highway in, and, you know, all that stuff. So, in this first little bit, you can see me adding some more water sources to, you know, add some variety to the whole island. Nothing too special here. And then you can see me just detailing these out over the course of like 20 minutes or whatever. I added in some details to the mountains a bit to make them more rugged looking so they're not just a smooth slope. Alright, so now I'm going to add the resources. Here's the oil, and then I'm going to make a big brush size, and then pick this circular brush right here and just kind of go at it, you know, spread the oil out, and then here I am working on the grass, and then how about a little bit of minerals too, not grass, farming. And here's the minerals up, there we go. Me upping the strength a bit to help it along. Alright, now it's time for some trees. So let's go down, pick the tree tool, leave the brush big and full brush strength with the same circle shape, and I just lay on the trees. Now I want a really dense jungle, so I'm going to really just kind of load the island up with trees, at least the ridge. Making it look nice and more realistic, or natural I guess. And then I'm adding in some brush under the trees as well, which will help make it look more jungly. And I'm very careful not to put the trees in over the agriculture, because it'll erase the agricultural value of the land. Alright, I have a pretty good density now, and so I feel pretty happy about that. The nice big flat land I'm not going to bother putting trees in because there's going to be a city there anyways and farming and whatnot, so whatever. And next, we need to put in the interstate. Now this is a tough one because you have to run the interstate from the edge of the map, so you need to put some islands in order to run the interstate from the edge all the way to the middle island. I'm going to go over and pick wrong brush. Control Z will undo any terrain modifications you've just done. Alright, now I'm going to pick the smaller brush strength for sure, and then pick the rough mountain brush that I love to use so much. I'll reduce the brush size a bit because I'm making small islands. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, carve them right out of the water pretty much. Pretty simple, just a straight line over to the edge of the map. So I'm going to take the interstate tool and I'm just going to, you know, draw my roads one side at a time. And from island to island, pretty much however I want it. Straight lines look a little bit better with the interstates if you can manage them. Now once you get to the land, it's a little bit more tricky because I want to make it look good and kind of be more realistic, I guess, for real interstates. I don't know. There's not really much of a precedence for interstates on tropical islands. With the interstate, I try to minimize the amount of rain and bridges that'll pop in. I try to kind of keep it contoured with the land. Other than that, just kind of go at it. It's not until I get to the open land that I really put a straightaway in because the terrain's so difficult. It's just, it has to have curves in it, so. Pretty cool how I got the interstates go right in front of this waterfall. I think it looks pretty nice. Very nice, yes. Oh, and we ran into a little snafu. Here we are with the water leaking over, and I can't build the interstate where I want it, so I just grab the terrain tool, pump up terrain just a little bit, and the problem should be resolved. There we go. Problem solved. Alright, now we're running it into the main flat area of the island. So I'm going to try and straighten it out a bit more. Nothing too unique about this whole process here. Now let's work on going back. I like to keep my interstates pretty close together because it looks a lot neater. It gets difficult when it's all curvy and mountainous, so it's just, you know, however you prefer your interstates to look. Right, just kind of running it along parallel with the other one. Going to give it a little bit more distance, that way the terrain is not glitching between them, but since one's so much lower than the other one. And this was a tough spot right here. I kind of had to figure out just how I want the interstate to look and, you know, deal with this terrain issue. Surprisingly enough, it's more difficult than it looks. So I just decided to get the brush, level the terrain, and then we're done. And with that out of the way, I continue to run it parallel to the other road, kind of along this ridge top here. Alright, the highway is done. I think I got a pretty good density on the trees. There's not too much you can really do with the tree brush tool in terms of tree density to make it realistic. Because a real jungle, you wouldn't be able to see the ground. There's so many trees. But, oh well. So I'm just going to put in the seaport and airport routes here. Nothing special, just click and drag across the map. Done. Alright, so now I'm going to put some beaches in. This will just be a really small brush size with a lot of brush strength. And just kind of, you know, paint the beaches right on how I want them. What's a tropical island without sandy beaches? Alright, so here's the fun part. I'm going to be putting in a current to the ocean, which is pretty difficult because I want to leave the edges of the map open for tsunamis and events like that to happen. Because normally I would like pretty much wall in the ocean and put in a bunch of water sources at the edges. But here I'm going to try something different by putting a whole bunch of water sources in a line near the island. This should make a current that goes kind of around the island. And I spend so much time dealing with the land and stuff. Really, I would just leave it once you put these in. I'd leave it. I personally tried to raise the seafloor and manipulate the currents as much as I could, but really just plop in the largest water source size, and it should give you an okay current. It won't be very quick, but it'll get the poop water away from your island, so you have a beautiful beach. You see how I do all these different raising and lowering of the land and whatnot. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, so I won't worry about it too much. You can see how I did this kind of barrier island over here. This will help push the water in a current direction to the east and west of the island. You don't have to do this, but this will really help with the flow of the ocean. Alright, and that's pretty much all I'm doing with the island. It's done. So all you have to do is export it and you can play it. Really, you just take a picture of it, so that way you can have a nice looking picture and know what the map looks like in case you forget what it's called. And then you can also set your starting tile wherever you want it. I just picked the center tile because that's how I like it. And then you are done. You click Save Map. You can change the name of the map save if you want, and then the map name is the name that you'll see in the load map screen of the game. I call this thing Dolphino. You know, dolphin look, etc., etc. And then be sure to click Publish New Game panel, and you're done. And that's our first map. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.